great to see you all. If you don't know me, I'm Linda Goggin. I'm a family doctor and I'm a functional medicine doctor. And the patches really have changed my life. So I had a person brought them to me in my office, and they said, "Look, my pain got better." And I was interested, of course, because I like non-medicinal ways to help people. Looking for those other natural approaches, and tried them myself, and it helped an arthritis pain of mine that had been decades long, and got it so I could actually go from not being able to bounce to being able to jog. And then I began to use the X39 patch, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it works now. Okay, so let me just.
Oh, shit.
I think it's important to realize that this is a wellness pack. It supports the body, but we can't make any medical claims. All right. Lots of people get better from many different challenges. But what this does is it allows you to access a new kind of stem cell technology that can help heal many things. And it's your body's own wisdom that does it. Right. So I want you to think about right now, if anything were possible, if there was something in your body that you could improve, if you wave a magic wand, what would that be? And how would it feel? And what would it be worth to have that shift? Because for me, I had to get over the idea that, we're talking about a little sticker here, a light sticker. And when I first saw it, I was like, well, how it could possibly work? And I had to dive in there. And I had to use it for a while before I saw improvement. So it's worth giving it a look. This slide is meant to be a little funny, but it's really true. As you get older, we all do want to be younger. And the fact is, as we get older, we have less and less capacity to heal, right? We have fewer stem cells. We are not able to make the same proteins because our body's giving different instructions. And as you see this decline, if there were a way to get more stem cells, of course, everybody, stem cells are sort of the holy grail of anti-aging. I mean, to have more of them, you can make new tissues, right? So we want to have more. And as they drop, we want to find a way to get more. I mean, you could go get stem cell injections. Those are pretty expensive. They don't always work. There's side effects. So David Schmidt, this is the person who discovered how to make these LifeWave patches, is truly on the edge of medicine here with an amazing discovery. The patches have been around since 2004, but it wasn't, and at that time, David Schmidt invented the energy enhancer patches. And these patches were seen on Olympic swimmers. In fact, they drew so much attention that the people on the IOC said, what is in the patches? And they had them sent to make sure there's no medicine. So this is a non-pharmaceutical way to change what's happening at the cellular level in the body. And there's a lot of buzz around them. But what happened with a company that started in 2004 is that in 2019, when they introduced this stem cell activating patch, the company went from 23 million up over 3 years to 240 million, just because this is so powerful. And, I didn't know anything at all about this. I just started to use the patch and felt like a different person. I felt 10 years younger. And I wanted my patients to have something that was easy and inexpensive. So the X39 patch is really, that's the stem cell activating patch. It does many things, improves energy, sleep, healing, improves your wrinkles, sports performance gets better. I love that pain gets better because relieving suffering is one of a primary mission of mine. And, how does it work? So let's talk just briefly about how it works, because this is truly new technology. Your doctor may not have heard of it yet. And it's using light to change the instructions in our body. Okay. In 20 years, all doctors will be prescribing things like light. Okay. So this is coming into conventional medicine, but this is a new way to apply light. And when you look at a patch, the first thing you'll say is, oh, golly gee, there's not light. I mean, where's the light? The way that this works is by reflecting off a little bit of your light. So the body is the battery. So that's how it works. And then what it does is it increases different peptides in the body. And there's a few different patches, but I really want to focus on the stem cell activating patch because it has so much science. And as a physician, I think that's important. It increases this peptide. This is the instructional molecule. And there are many different papers that I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm not sure what's going on, just if somebody just
Please unmute yourself, Dr.
Okay.
Thornton. Okay, great.
So there's many papers on GHKCU that will help you understand what kind of something happened to. Okay. Here's these different papers. Scientific papers showing what it does in the body and how it affects many, many different systems. And that's why people can have multiple different ways of improvement when they're using these patches. So that's just, you guys can look it up. They made a second stem cell activating patch, which is the X49, which improves stamina, strength, endurance, muscle strength, and also improves markers of bone density, which is interesting. So these two together are something called the performance bundle. And that's what I use every day to try and stay strong and live as young as I can. And show you just a couple pictures of befores and afters of people who are using these patches. It's nice to see visible changes because when you change on the outside, it means you're actually changing on the inside too. Improvements in scars. So when people start to use the patches, we suggest they take before and after of their face, of any scars, maybe of their hair, if they're thinking they'd like to regrow hair. So the way that you can get the patches, though, it's very simple. Retail cost is $149 a month. You know, that's a frou-frou beverage at Starbucks. I usually suggest people get the wholesale price, which is my price, as a brand partner or preferred customer, and that's only $100 a month. And then people are renewing their stem cells every month. Lastly, I'm about to wrap it up and we'll get into the stories. This is also a little opportunity. If you're interested in helping heal people or I have a mission to relieve suffering because pain can get better. This is very easy and fun to do. The company provides all the details and all you have to do is patch people, enroll, patch people and follow up. And it's pretty fun. So make sure and get back with the person who's asked you to watch this video or come to this presentation because it's fun to give out a patch and have somebody say things like this to you. My knee pain's better. Your tech gave my life back. And if you're a doctor or a practitioner, acupuncturist, naturopath, this can really help your clients. So I encourage you to look into the details of it. So that's my quick overview. I hope that wasn't too much and it answered some of your questions about how this works. So I'm going to stop my share and then we can dive into stories. So the stories are always so fun. And we love to hear stories and updates. So even if you have given us a story before, we'd love to hear what's going on with you. And then David, you want to tell them about the special exciting perk of giving a story?
Absolutely. At the end of this testimonial call, everybody that has given a testimonial previously and has not won, they're kept in the spin to win, but also any new testimonials today will be added to the spin to win, and we'll spin the win after the call, and we'll choose one winner that'll win a full pack, 30-day pack of X39. So look forward to that and hearing your testimonials or updates.
Yeah. Well, this is so if you want to speak, what I'd invite you to do is there's a reaction button below where you can raise your hand. And there's a question about that presentation. That presentation, I've just edited it to make it shorter and make it easy that you guys, if you want to use that presentation to share somebody, you definitely can.
I love it.
And
That was an excellent presentation.
I think it's good to have short ones, also that have some of the science. I mean, for the geeks like me, we like science. And, just today I was looking up GHKCU, and there are more papers. Last time I told you about the new paper that showed that GHKCU reversed damage to muscles that's caused by smoke, like cigarette smoke. Well, today, as I look, there's several new papers about how it improves skin healing. More people are looking at it and trying to use it for doing, wound healing and that sort of thing. And, we can probably expect that weekly there are going to be more papers coming out because it does so many things in the body. It really does turn on maybe 30% of genes to a younger state. So if someone wants to go ahead and you can either raise your hand, or if you can't figure out how to use the reaction, raise your hand, you can unmute yourself or type in the chat. And then I'll know that you want to speak, because we'd love to hear your story. Oh, Mary's got her hand up. Nice, Mary. Mary, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us about what's going on.
I was going to give two. One was the original reason why I grabbed the patches was for my knees, and my poor little, I'm 69, so my poor little knees were dying. And so I just started on the patches, and I think 2 weeks ago, I did about a 14 hour stand on concrete concert. And I put a patch on both knees so I didn't survive, but I recovered very quickly, and I made it through without dying. And then the other one is when you said wound healing, I had gotten on my hands. I am allergic to tea tree oil, which I never knew. And I had like 1st-degree burns on both my hands, and you can hardly tell it's gone. I mean, it's
incredible.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's amazing. I love it, because my first thing was my foot hurt so much, I had to put shoes on in the morning. I could not go barefoot. Now all I do is go barefoot. Very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing, Mary. Love it.
Yeah.
Great. So I see. And so any other details, or did we get you? Okay. So Sandra, I see your hand up.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Sandra, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Can I share an experience of something that happened when I was patching somebody else?
Sure,
and what I saw?
Yeah.
So this person has really bad circulation and pain in their feet for a long time. I put Eon back of the neck and Ice Wave on the bottoms of the feet. This person is really sensitive, and he could feel the effects of the patches as soon as I put them on. So just having put the Ice Wave on the bottom, he's starting to feel some change happening in his feet. And then I put X39 on top. And almost immediately, it started changing what was going on for him. And I'm energetically sensitive. I've been doing energy work forever. And I was watching, and it looked like I could see the circulation increasing.
Wow, that's neat.
And then it was his birthday, 60th birthday. And so he got up, and then he came and he sat back down, and he'd probably had them on for half an hour at that point. And as he was coming back to his chair to sit down, I thought, it looks like his legs are coming alive.
Oh, wow.
It was so wonderful for me as an energy working person, to observe this so dramatically. And about an hour after he'd had them on, he says the knife blade pain that he'd had in his foot was gone. And it has been months since he has been without it.
Wow. Wow, that is such a beautiful story. that's, what a birthday present, 60th birthday present, right? I love it.
That's fantastic.
Nice. Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that. It's beautiful.
Thank you to Mary, by the way, Mary 13 here, for I was calling her as we were driving off to his house and giving me the suggestion about putting the X39s on top of his feet. So we weren't really sure what was going to happen, but it was better than I expected.
That's great. And well, I
Wow.
think that's the with the ice wave, sometimes people feel a cool sensation. I mean, I have to imagine that that's why they called it the ice wave. But that's great. Love it so much. All right. So let's see, how about now I know that's not Brian, but it looks like it's Brian. Who's
It
under?
is. It's Brian and
Okay.
Donna.
It's Brian and Donna. Okay.
Wearable's listening. And Brian is actually, he has neuropathy in his feet, and he was having trouble with feeling the sensation in his feet, but now that sensation is starting to come back. So he's
Wow.
quite excited about that. I've talked about my hands before. I cannot believe how improved they are. And also I just feel happier. I just feel a sense of well-being, and I have energy that I've always had a fair bit, but I just feel so energized. So we're really excited about it.
So
Thanks.
Donna, was it arthritis in your hands? Just remind.
Yes, it is arthritis in my hands. In my left hand, my pointer finger has been just swollen and very, very, very painful. And I've actually been putting the patch on right on it, the ice wave one right on it. And the swelling hasn't quite gone down yet, but the pain has subsided immensely.
Oh, love it. I love it. That's
Are you using
amazing.
2 of the ice wave patches on your finger?
Yes, I am. Actually, it's kind of hard to put 2 on one finger, but it does work, and it
Mhm.
seems like it's really giving me a lot of relief. So
Excellent. Great to hear.
That's one of those patches that sometimes are tricky. You got to figure out the right way for your body, right? Everybody knows the ice wave is there. It comes with 2 patches. The tan one usually goes on the spot. And then the white one, so like if you hurt on this knuckle, you might put the tan one on the knuckle, and then maybe you try the white one here or on the other side, or maybe above it until you found which is the best position. I usually take half the adhesive off and fiddle with it before I take all of the adhesive off and leave it. And sometimes the best place I've found can be right on top of that. Although, David Jumper says, I've never heard that, but it could be right on top of it. So just, you fiddle with it a little.
right.
So, yes.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Donna and Brian. I love to hear that is getting better for both of you. Fabulous. It looks like we've got Holly's hand up. Holly, do you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm unmuted, but I am not. I just want to add to Donna's story something that she didn't mention. I met with her 2 weeks ago, and I was telling her that she was sharing the same as what she did this morning, feeling younger and more vibrant. It was all exciting, and she's a very fair Norwegian Swedish. And I was telling her how my husband's hair was starting to show darker in the back. And she's like, I don't think that's possible. So then she looked and she said, I do see darker hair on the back of his head. And I said, well, let me check yours. And her being very fair, very blonde, I said, you know what? You have got the same thing happening. She's like, no way. So I took a picture of it and showed it to her. And she was just like stunned. And it's just amazing. She said, how can that happen? I'm like, I don't know, but the proof is in the pudding. Here's the picture. So big changes happening there. And she just neglected to mention that little part.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's incredible. That's something I've noticed too. My hair has less gray than when I started using the patches. And that's pretty cool. All right, let's see. Thank you so much for sharing and bringing that extra little tidbit, Holly. I appreciate that. All right, Tess, it looks like you've got your hand up.
I do. I have a new testimony, actually, and it's about me. I, of course, wear X39. I wear everything practically every day. And I always think I'm Superwoman. And so I was carrying some really, really heavy bags and boxes. And all of a sudden, I just got this horrific pain in the side of my neck. And I go, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And I was out on a call. So what I did is I said, oh, I've got X39. And I put an X39 patch on it. And I'm not exaggerating, within 15 minutes, I had no pain. And so I have, sometimes you need to have something like that to remind you how good they are. And so that's what I did. And even though I wear multiple patches every day, I had to think of something really quick. And what did I have with me? X39. So I stuck it on there and it worked. And, and you all know my testimonies over the years. I've had so many things happen that after a while I sound like, oh my gosh, I could fill up a whole hour with all my testimonies. But this was a brand new thing. It just happened to me.
That's amazing, incredible. I just, one in 3 Americans uses over-the-counter pain medication. Did you guys know that? That's a statistic I recently learned. And Tylenol and ibuprofen, those kind of things, they're not good for us. They're not good on the kidneys, the liver, the lining of the stomach, the gut. So that's so important that we can relieve suffering, instead of reaching for, your Tylenol, reach for a patch. Hey, oh, look, we have someone new, Bridget. Go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about what happened.
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm on Lummi Island and I have no Wi-Fi, so I wasn't sure how the connection was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm
Yeah,
as soon
tell
as
us
I
what was
started.
happening
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
And
So as soon as I connected with Linda, I knew before talking to her that LifeWave patches was my next step, and I'm like a very solid researcher. Like I won't jump into anything unless I know it works. And so my naturopath retired, Dr. Whitaker. She was in Stanwood. I'm an acupuncturist and a physical therapist. But anyway, she retired probably 4 years ago to Bali. And she was working on a friend of mine, Todd, who was diagnosed with Parkinson's. I don't think he has it, but Western medicine diagnosed him with Parkinson's. And she, from Bali, used a LifeWave patch with her radionics machine for not for Todd. Sorry, I'm kind of going off in another direction. For another friend of mine who had, 4th stage prostate cancer, and he felt immediately better for a week. And I said, wow, if you can do that from 3,000 miles away, I wonder what you can do if you have the actual patches. So I ordered them for Todd, thanks to Linda. And we ordered the X39 and the X49. And right away, like I put them on him Wednesday morning, right away, he noticed the difference. He's very sensitive. He's a naturopathic doctor that's really more of an energy worker, shaman type of person. And he immediately noticed there was something different. I took him out for lunch and he had been having issues with coughing, choking, anything related to motor planning was really a challenge for him. And we had a meal together. He did not cough once. He didn't choke once. He acted like his old self. And I was just amazed. I kept telling him, Todd, you're doing really well. And he's like, yes, I am. The other thing that I noticed right away, he's been whispering for months. He hasn't been able to talk in a normal tone of voice. And I could hear his voice a little better during the day, but it was still a whisper. And I was at his house for a whole day because I go to his home once a week and basically volunteer to help him. And I went in to check on him at 4 a.m. He says, how are you doing, Bridget? And I'm like, Todd, do you realize that's your normal speaking voice? He's like, yes, I do. And I was like, it was amazing. Like, that's not happened in
That's
probably
incredible.
3 or 4 months that I've been able to hear his normal speaking voice. So we're really excited. And his dinner helper contacted me yesterday and said, I can see a change already. And I said, please write it down to document it in our notebook, because I'm documenting everything. I videotaped him just to show like truly what's going on. And it's happening so quickly that I'm just amazed. I'm so thankful that I took the step. And it was really, thank you to Dr. Goggins for kind of persuading me and letting me see that for me, like this, because it connects with acupuncture, I totally get it. And I know I'm going to be doing a lot with patients, family, friends. With it's just such an amazing technology.
So exciting. It really does complement acupuncture beautifully. And in someone who's energetically sensitive also, I feel like that's an extra gift to be able to utilize that. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing, Bridget. I can't wait to hear the journey as it progresses. All right. So let's see. I want to make sure. Is there anybody? Oh, Diana D. I see your hands raised. Jump in there.
Hi, Dr. Goggins.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, everybody. Yesterday, I had a new experience with a friend who's been suffering with sciatica. And I've been trying to encourage her to come on. She was on the call on, I don't know, a day or two ago, but we talked about more of a marketing thing. Anyway, she showed up yesterday at when I was at work. And so I was able to put a patch on her. And she said, well, gee, I feel something. Something is tingling. And then she said, and my knee stopped hurting. So I don't
Hot
know.
diggity dog.
I know. I don't think she's on the call this morning. She's not an early morning person. But anyway, I was so pleased because she is really hard to deal with. She doesn't like to do healthy things. So anyway, she walked out of the bookstore and she seemed a lot better. I have not talked to her today. So I really hope. I gave her some patches for a day or two. And anyway, we'll see what happens. I originally started because the pain in my left leg was so severe that I could barely walk. And within 3 days after my dear friend Shelley brought me the patches, I was able to walk without pain. And that pain has not returned since. So I'm definitely using the patches for some other issues that I have. But that really made me so happy yesterday that her pain was gone, at least for then. I hope she keeps using the patches. Thank you.
Oh, that's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing.